In every inch of lava's snowy lather, 50,000 tiny scrubbers remove the deep dirt from skin crevices between fingers around fingernails. With lava, hands soiled by machine oil, grease, or grime come sparkling clean in 30 to 50 seconds. Mothers know lava is wonderful for cleaning children's grimy knees, hands, elbows. And housewives everywhere are discovering the magic of lava.
I don't know what you're up to, you little perv, but I like the journey you're on.
A great pair of nerd glasses in about an hour. This is the Morning Stream.
And we're back, everybody. We're
Lava.
back. I like that song a lot. That was great.
Yeah, that's some massive power pop right there. Like, if you're looking for the very definition of power pop, it's those jangly guitars. It's that that vocal style. It's all that stuff.
Yeah, it's real good. I am a fan.
Love it myself.
Turns out I'm a fan.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll tell you what else I'm a fan of, because shortly we'll be all fans of what's going to happen next, like right this second.
With the computer, as with any tool, the concept and direction must come from the man.
That man is the one, the only, the uninterruptible. I can't think of a word. Tom Merritt, everybody. Tom Merritt.
Uninterruptible.
I don't know. I don't know where that came from. That makes no sense, does it? You're
I'm going
uninterruptible.
to test that theory today. At some
Okay.
point.
Yeah, I get that theory tested on a daily basis, actually, and I have not. Yeah.
I mean, everybody.
How about unflappable?
Unflappable.
Unflappable.
There
yeah.
you go.
I mean, I don't know if I'm 100% unflappable. I try not to flap very often, though.
Never actually understood that phrase.
I know that there's no game app called Flappy Tom, so that to me says that you're unflappable.
Proof positive.
What does it mean? What does it mean to be flappable? No one's ever told me. I don't get it.
It means you can get flapped. No, I think it means like you get thrown off. You get disturbed.
Right. Okay.
Right.
All right. Well, I think you're pretty unflappable. I've known you long enough to say that. I've never seen you flap. You're fine.
Well, I've flapped in my time. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, I've done some flapping. Well, all right.
I'm
hey,
like a 1920s lady.
you're a flapper, they say.
Total flapper.
See? Tom Merritt is here as always on Thursday or Wednesdays. This is Wednesday, everybody. And we talk about technology. Now, we didn't do it last week because we were in BlizzCon, or Brian and I were, so we couldn't do this.
I'm so sorry I wasn't there this year. PatriCon, I had to pick between PatriCon and BlizzCon, and I picked BlizzCon last year, so I had to give PatriCon.
You got to swap it around. You know, I get it, and I'm glad somebody of our ilk was representing there. You know, that's good.
I was representing the ilk.
Yes, well done.
Ice cream social just wasn't the same without you, Tom.
I can't. Yeah, I'm really sad I missed it.
Yeah. Well, we'll always have.
I refused to eat ice cream all weekend long if I couldn't eat it with you, Brian.
You would have hated security. I wish you could have experienced the security situation so you could have hated it as much as we did, because it was bad.
The security? What do you mean?
It was so bad. So this year they went from, like, you know how it was in the past? You all wad up to get in, and you go past a table, and they check your bag real quick, and you go in. That's security at BlizzCon.
And if you didn't have a bag, you just waltzed right by.
Exactly. This year, oh no. It is they made a giant maze of giant blue walls that went on forever. They had multiple checkpoints with multiple metal detectors and staff that would check everything, including your Blizzard goodie bags. The whole show started like 40 minutes late. I think it was... Yeah, go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, they also, instead of having the outside food truck area be outside security, what they did is they walled the whole thing off and made it so all that was within security. So if you went into the con, went out for... a bite at the food truck, went back in, you wouldn't have to go through security twice, but that caused a bunch of these other bottlenecks and delays, and
they were rude.
And if you just wanted to pop out and grab food, you had to go through security to get to it.
Yeah, you had to do anything. Like if I wanted to go to the hotel because I forgot a thing, it was an ordeal.
Trying to go to the hotel was a nightmare because you couldn't go through that non-secure area, so you had to go almost all the way to the street and then around.
And then back out.
Yeah, it was bad. I think it's just it's a response to, and a reasonable one, to the need for more security. There've been some high-profile, even gaming events that had some pretty bad security breaches. But like Build-A-Ram watched a guy bribe one of the guards for $20 to let him through without going through the detector and getting in early. So
what?
Yeah, he's fired now. Bill hung around, took pictures, and like made sure somebody knew and all that. Which Bill did the right thing. Yeah. But I know Blizzard.
Tom, you missed a great BlizzCon.
I'm still sad I missed seeing you guys, but
yeah, it was a bummer, that part of it. And I think Blizzard's very unhappy with the 3 security people companies they hired, but. Yeah. We'll see what they do.
The problem is it was 3 security people. That was the whole problem.
Yeah, it was 3 guys and about 20 metal detectors. It was crazy. They also wouldn't let me take audio recording equipment in on my media pass, even though I had a phone in my pocket, which is also an audio recorder, and the guy in front of me, who was Garrett Weinzerpel, had a 4K camera, DSLR, and a bunch of recording equipment himself. He was fine to go through. They wouldn't let me through with my little handheld deal there. So,
but you had a media pass.
Yeah, it didn't matter to them. They were just like, the best part was did I tell you this yesterday, Brian? I think I did. I had a talent pass. I think I did talk about this. I had a pass that said talent on it, and I also had a media pass. When I went through the time with the talent pass on, because that's all I could use, I had to have that to get into the backstage thing.
Yeah.
I go through that line, and guy goes, talent boy, why don't you do a dance for me or sing a song? And I thought he was, and I thought he was kidding. I turned to look at him, expecting a big smile and a kind of a just kidding face. No. He was just like looking at me like I'm some kind of scrub. Wow. So it just sucked. They were bad. They were bad at this. Bad at their jobs. Anyway, doesn't matter. We're talking about technology. Tom Merritt, hey, it's Wednesday. Things happen in the world of tech, and I'm sure today's no different. What's going on out there? What should we know about?
Well, maybe BlizzCon could borrow this story. The Associated Press reporting that a company called Waitrix is running a test of gait recognition to identify people based on their body shape and how they walk in Beijing and Shanghai.
Oh,
maybe they claim that even if you like hunch down or try to do a Monty Python silly walk, that they can still recognize you. They've got enough machine learning behind it, enough points of recognition that it's not easy to fool it. By just walking different, and like if you're hiding your face, they can still identify you because it goes on a whole body system.
See, uninterruptible Tom Merritt, by the way. It was like that thing in Jason Bourne where Matt Damon started walking differently so that the cameras wouldn't identify him when they were looking for him.
Ah. Yeah, that was the old stuff in Jason Bourne. The new Waitrix stuff in the new Bourne is not going to be able to use that. Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, I liked the first Waitrix, but the 2 sequels were terrible.
The Waitrix Revolution.
Reloaded.
Yeah. Waitrix Reloaded.
Waitrix Rewalked.
Yeah, Rewalked. So let me get this straight, though. They have to have the data. How are they getting the data of everybody's walk and assigning it to them? Like, that's the part that throws me a little bit.
Well, that's just like any police action, right? They're not going to be able to identify every single person on the street, but if you're looking for a particular person, then you would have made them go through some recording, I suppose, to be able to create a profile for them.
Okay, that makes sense. There was another movie that did this,
like taking a mugshot of you or something like that.
And they do this. Punisher on Netflix did that too.
Did they?
The guy, the secret guy with all the computers in the sewers was tracking down Frank Castle using that, walking that gate.
That's right.
Well, gait recognition isn't new. In fact, police in Osaka have been piloting it since 2013. So it's not like this company is brand new. It's just they think theirs is better and more robust, and they're adding it to. China has the most surveillance cameras of any country on the earth, I think. So there's a lot of interest in being able to catch criminals there by using facial recognition. They've talked a lot about that, but also now with checking out how they walk.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. Actually, I do think it might have hurried things up at BlizzCon because it really was bad. And
I mean, that would be cool, right? If you were like, all you got to do is walk around in front of your camera, send us the profile, and then when you come to the con, you just walk up, and we'll be like, oh, Scott Johnson, yeah, you're on the list. Come on in.
Wow. Yeah. That's kind of cool.
That'd be kind of cool, yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't.
I mean, like any of these security technologies, they can be used for ill too. Right. I can hear the thoughts whirring out there of like, this is going to be used by the government to shut me down. And yes, absolutely. Like anything, you should make sure that it's used for good, not ill, and stand firm against that.
Sure. Right. I like the idea that. I mean, imagine 9/11 if the attackers if we knew how they walked and we knew that they were part of a cell. I mean, this is a bad example, but let's just say we did. That would have been very helpful. The machine would have gone, beep, 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 flagged him and said, this particular guy is on the list of FBI's most wanted whatever, so pull him over. But you're right. There's this thin line of that sure as hell better work, because if you pull Phil Anderson from freaking New Jersey on his business trip over and think that he's, the next shoe bomber, you've screwed up. So,
and if they spy on me and figure out my walking profile without my knowledge, and then use it to track my movements without my my approval, and I haven't done anything wrong, that's not okay.
Yeah, and what if they filmed you? What if they captured and recorded your walking data on the one day you had like too many prunes and you got the trots and you're just walking funny? So now they think, that guy, he's a funny walker, and they put your info in there.
I mean, and I mentioned this before, that they have enough data points that's not going to throw it off.
Okay.
Like there are certain, it's like your fingerprint. There are certain parts about the way you walk that they claim that they have identified that even if you had prunes or are trying to hunch over, it's not going to throw it off. Okay. They say.
All right. Wow. It's prune safe, prune free.
Ninja Steve brings up a good one. If you lose a leg, that might throw you off your gait. Enough.
Probably, yeah. Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't want to wish that on anybody, but
no, of course not. But
yeah,
maybe that's the kind of extreme example that Watrix is claiming you'd have to go
There's probably one person out there in the world who has made sure that their entire life they have walked a little goofy on purpose. And it's now coming to fruition for them. It's finally paying off.
Again, I can't stress this enough. Walking goofy isn't enough to change this. Like, there is a certain element of the way you walk that you just can't change, is what they're claiming.
No matter what I do. So if I'm going,
because it's not the movement of your limbs; it's the way you're. I'm guessing now. By the way, I'm guessing it's just the way your joints are connected and how they swing. That even if you walk all crazy, it's still, there's something in the way those joints move that you'd have to change your joints. You'd have to have different arms for it or different legs for it to fool it.
Okay. Chat room has a good point though. What if you just faked that you were in a wheelchair your whole life? Meaning you faked a condition that meant you had to be in one.
That's a long con.
It really is, exactly.
It's the longest con.
Really
I don't know why.
Just so you can once.
Yeah.
I don't know why I like these ridiculous
What
scenarios.
if you steal someone else's legs and implant them on you with their joints?
Gosh.
What if you have prosthetic legs all around your waist, so that it looks like you have 6 legs and you walk around?
Oh my gosh! What if? What if is right?
We can't catch Spider-Man. He's got 8 legs.
Exactly. Yes.
What if Spider-Man actually had 8 legs? Like what? How is he Spider-Man if he doesn't have 8 legs?
I don't know.
Yeah.
He's got a little tingly sense. He made some squirters, and he's not really.
I don't know if you pull a couple legs off a spider, does that all of a sudden make it not a spider?
Oh, interesting question.
Man.
So now
I got to start this philosophy podcast with you.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. It would be really good.
As soon as we're done doing the music myths podcast based on our Twitter discussion last week.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Go read Twitter, folks.
True history.
Read Twitter. If you're Scooby-Doo and Shaggy with a coat on and a hat, that's a whole different scenario. All right.
Yeah, 3 babies in a trench coat.
You can expect that sort of talk and more later today on the Daily Tech News Show. Maybe not in this vein.
Less.
Yeah, probably less, actually. That's true. But it's a chance for you guys to check out Tom and Sarah and Roger and myself today. It's Wednesday. I'm happy to be back on the show today talking tech. Anything else you want to mention before we go?
Oh, yeah. I'm very excited. The audiobook of my novel Gallium is out as read by Veronica Belmont. You can find it at tomsnewbook.com. I'll take you right to the Amazon page with it, or tomerabooks.com. But it is right there in the Audible store. So if you sign up, you can get it for free, because Audible always has some promotion where they give it out for free. Or if you've got an Audible subscription, it's 1 credit. That's all it costs. So check it out. tomsnewbook.com, audiobook of the novel Gallium.
Well, here's a clip.
Ooh, hipsters.
There it is.
No, that is not.
That's not a real clip.
Well, I don't want people to be disappointed when they listen all the way through and they're like, I never heard her say "ooh, hipsters" once.
Good point. How about this?
It's fraud.
No, it's this. No, that's not. That's not it.
Veronica Ann Belmont is a new media personality, the destroyer of worlds.
I forgot I made that. That's a thing I made a long time ago. I totally forgot I made it.
Wow,
we used to call her.
That's weird.
We used to call her the Destroyer of Worlds.
Destroyer of Worlds.
Yeah.
And I expect to enjoy a long life.
There you go.
And for that, I need your help.
There you go.
See? It's not bad.
What about the chapter all about sausage?
Sausage?
That's also not in this book.
Oh,
no.
That's too bad. Well,
again, I want people to not be disappointed. There are no robot arms.
No, there are always robot arms, but not here. Tom Merritt, everybody. Ace Detect on Twitter. Find him at tommerrittbooks.com, over at thedailytechnewsshow.com, and wherever you get your tech news. Tom Merritt, have a fantastic day, and we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye now.
Bye.
I can't hang up on him. Therefore, I won't. He'll hang up on me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Brian.
And then we'll call him back when we call somebody else.
Yeah. Speaking of which, should we call Nicole?
Let's call Nicole.
Not heard from her, so I assume we're good. She
haven't talked to her in weeks.
Yeah, it's been a bit. I talked to her a little bit yesterday about that guy that was being a jerk on Twitter. And she had some thoughts on that, but that was the last time. So we're going to spend some time with her, and we're going to do it with this little intro. If I could find it. Here we go. Hey, look, everybody. It's Nicole Spag, all the way from Colorado, her own self. Hello, Nicole.
Hello.
How are you?
Hello.
How are things? How's life?
Oh, you know.
Yeah.
I made Rice Krispie treats this morning for the teachers.
Oh, that sounds good.
Oh.
Yeah, I feel bad because that stupid amendment didn't pass in our state.
Yeah. So you're like Kim. You're just like Kim. She does this all the time. It's like something. She'll just get a wild hair and go, you know what I need to do? I need to make 1,000 cookies and take them over to the school. She'll do that all the time.
Is it official, though? Because I thought they were still counting votes this morning.
It didn't pass. It was supposed to pass by, I think, a 55% majority, and it didn't pass. It
Wait,
was,
which thing was it? What was the point of it? What was the thing?
It was to inject more money into the school system.
Yeah, higher salaries for teachers, and
there were a couple of other measures, and I think one of them did pass. But the main one, I think it was Amendment 73, which would have given raises and more money into the school system. Actually, I mean, here's the thing: I am using my fundraising background for my son's school. Mm-hmm. It's ridiculous that these schools have to become fundraising experts for public school. It's kind of mind blowing.
It's stupid.
I mean, I'm doing it, but.
Here's the problem. There's a big portion of society that wants to keep people real stupid. And one way to do that is to have bad education. And one way to do that is pay teachers less. And another way that has an effect is people don't want to be teachers. So it kind of has this effect of everybody getting raised stupid. And some people want that. And that sucks. So
it does.
F those dirt bags is what I say.
So I'm using my fundraising skills to raise money for our school, which... It's awesome because what ends up happening is that all the money that we raise, we actually create grants for the teachers. And then teachers say, you know, I really want to do this, have these books in the class. And where you say, okay, here you go. Here's the money. Go buy the books. Yeah. But it's our PTA that's, you know, raising these funds. So I'm going to do like an online auction and things like that. But it's weird.
It's lame.
That I'm having to do this for a public school.
I agree. We should value education in this country, and we never really have as much especially now. We really just are. Well, they need more dumb people, honestly. So this is one way to do it. Hey,
I'm not going down without a fight.
Oh, of course not. And look, parents can make all the difference anyway, and not only that, but they can make a huge dent in their communities, and that's what you're doing, and that's important. That's actually the best thing we could all be doing. So well done. So let's dive into recommendals today. It's a chance for us to talk about stuff we've been watching on streaming services during the week. Now, because Brian and I were gone, I had very little time to watch anything, but I do have a recommendation today. Mine doesn't include a clip, sadly, but Brian's does, and we start with him. Brian, do you have any setup for this clip today?
If you listened to shows earlier this week, today's recommendal from me won't be a surprise.
Oh. All right, there's a little hint for you, folks. Here we go. Let's check it out.
Chubby's Chili Dog Depot. Buy 3, get 2 free, no expiration date.
All right.
Score.
Tucker, look. They got my favorite board game here, too.
What? I tell you something, Dale. I cannot believe that I am standing in my own vacation home right now. You know something? Dreams really do come true.
Oh, my God! Oh!
Well, I guess we should fix that.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
That's exactly right. Yes.
Great movie.
Yeah.
It really is. I'd never seen it before. It came out in 2010, and after
recommending this movie,
you recommended this
like years ago when I lived in Arizona.
Yeah.
Yikes! I should have heeded your recommendal on that one. Yeah, no, it didn't come back up for me until we watched Cabin Fever a couple of weeks ago for Film Sack, and I said, God, you know, they should make a slasher film where you see it from the slasher's point of view, and it's like all accidental murders of all the teenagers. And then a bunch of people said, well, maybe you should check out Tucker and Dale versus Evil. That's Twitter voice, by the way. That's every tweet gets read in that voice in my internal head. It's
pretty good.
In my eternal head. Anyway.
My internal head.
As opposed to my external head.
Right.
Anyway, finally saw it, and it's exactly what I described, and it's hilarious. It's Alan Tudyk and Tyler Labine, Katrina Bowden, a bunch of people you've never heard of, but Alan Tudyk you've heard of, especially if you are familiar with Serenity and Firefly and all that stuff.
Sure.
And all the millions of other things that Alan Tudyk has done.
The other guy, what's the other guy's name?
Tyler Labine.
Yeah, he is in. He was in that great show that was very brief. What was it called?
It was called Reaper.
Reaper with the devil thing. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, love that.
Forgot about that.
That was great.
Yeah, it was also main appearance this last year in Super Troopers 2, and Monsters University did a voice.
He's been
Rise
around.
of the Planet of the Apes. He was Robert Franklin. I don't know. He was in Zack and Mary Make a Porno as drunk customer.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Anyway, he should be on more because he's hilarious. He's got some great comic timing and terrific performance. Anyway.
Yeah.
No.
What?
Netflix?
That?
Is it streaming?
Netflix. It's streaming on Netflix. Yep.
Yep.
And I actually downloaded to try and watch on the plane, but I was too sick. I just dozed off on the flight home. So I watched it last night, all hopped up on cold meds, and still think I would have enjoyed it had I not.
Yeah, it's pretty
So you
good.
got the con crud. I'm sure you already talked about it, but I'm just noticing your voice sounds weird.
Yeah, he got the sweet.
Oh yeah, I
head
did.
cold.
I got con crud. I think I don't know if it was con crud or post con crud because felt fine all the way up until halfway through the day after the con. So it might have just gestated in my system for a day and a half. But
yeah, Oh,
who knows? What are we hearing?
That was the Tucker and Dale preview that Netflix is doing. So I pull up the movies as you guys are talking about.
Yeah.
We do the tweet that I push out. By the way, if you go to Recommendals on Twitter, every week of Recommendals are listed right there.
I love that you do that. That's so awesome.
So I pull it up, and Netflix is starting to play like trailers just on like the info page.
Yeah,
and I'm
everything.
Like,
Yeah, and they're not even trailers. Sometimes it's just stock music playing. Like,
yes,
I kind of. It's fine that they do that. I just wish there was a way to just mute the whole damn thing.
Yeah, there should be. You know, I mean, they give you if they give you the option to turn off autoplay or autoplay next or whatever it is, then they should give you the option to turn off.
Yeah, I mean, on a browser you can just mute your tab and that's fine. But I don't know. It's just annoying. I kind of and there's cases where I appreciate it where I'm browsing on a TV and I'm like, oh yeah, this is interesting. I'm watching a trailer. But then when I'm doing stuff on a computer or like now when we're just trying to preview stuff, I don't need autoplay. That sucks.
Do you ever go into a show on Netflix and you're thinking about hitting play and then they make the decision for you and you're like, well, I'll just let it play.
Oh no, I've never had
that.
Hasn't
happened to me.
That's happened to me a few times.
Really? Oh
like
God.
Netflix knows how indecisive I am when trying to select something that it just says, we're just going to play it for you.
Yeah, just watch a little bit of it, and if you don't like it, pick something else. But I think you're going to like this. Here, watch some. Watch
this. You'll be okay. Just let it wash over you. Don't push any buttons. Sit back. Yeah, I'm sure that happens a little bit. All right, fine recommendation, Tucker and Dale versus Evil. And it's great. I've seen it as well. It's fantastic. And it does really fit that thing you were asking for. Like what?
It totally is. It's exactly what I was looking for. So
yeah, it's just a funny idea. Yeah, and it's not just that one gimmick. Like it is a gimmick, but they play it out real well. Like
they really do, and it has some turns that you don't see coming. Or at least I didn't. And again, I was on cold meds.
Yeah, so who knows? Brian could be stoned right now for all we know. All right. I wasn't able to do a clip because just too much going on, but I am going to make a recommendation that is actually already a recommendation for me, but I'm going to throw it out there anyway because the dream came true. You may remember for maybe even years, but definitely months, I have been saying, man, what's going on over there with the King of the Hill license? How come nobody's streaming that content? And sure enough, it seems like whenever we bring something like this up on the show, like 2 weeks later, suddenly it's a thing. And that is now true. You can watch all of King of the Hill, all 13 seasons, in their entirety on Hulu if you have Hulu. So I just wanted to throw that out there because it's honestly the only thing I've had any time for any extra watching time since I've been back. And, oh, gosh, there's a little more there. That's good. And it's great. It's I love King of the Hill. It's like comfort food for me. I don't even know why I like it as much as I did then and now, and it's great. And Hulu has it all, so go check it out. That's over at hulu.com.
Smart devices are listening to you.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's right.
Nicole, tell us all about your recommendation today.
Well, I have two, so I'm going to give you two clips, and I'm not going to play them because they never seem to work now that we're going through Discord.
I was going to say, man, I've been hearing everything you've been playing on your computer. You sure?
So this is one I was going to recommend a few weeks ago, and then we didn't do recommendals a few times. So
okay,
this is a makeup.
All right, I'm going to push this. Here we go. I'm not looking. I don't know what it is.
On the top of a dark and distant mountain, there is a beautiful and talented woman who uses her unique skills to create hauntingly disturbing confections. She finds beauty in the art of darkness with each creation and shares them with us, the unusual creatures she has taken into her home.
I can't remember the last time we had a normal meal around here.
All right, tell me. I'm dying to know what this is. This sounds great.
Well, this was awesome around Halloween. This is a Netflix original, The Curious Creations of Christine McConnell. And it's like Night Before Christmas meets Muppets meets a food show.
Okay.
Like, it is so wonderfully weird and just weird. I love it. And as I'm watching it, this is the example of one that Netflix, I went on the page and it said, we're just going to start this for you because you need to watch it.
Now, is this,
and I got sucked into it.
Is this fictional or nonfiction? Like, is this almost like a documentary about this woman, or is this
there's a lot of, like, the fourth wall is broken in this. Because Christine, I was looking at her Instagram. She's insanely talented. She makes so many cool, like one of the things she does is she makes a candy bone out of chocolate. And I'm like, is this a food show? I'm like, I'm watching this. And then there's puppets that are talking. And then so she's like explaining how, and the puppets are like, who the hell is she talking to?
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, it's so weird and different, and I absolutely adored it. And there's a lot of, like I said, it's a cooking show because she shows you how to make a cake and how to decorate the cake. And then she does this thing with chocolate chip cookies to put eyeballs in them and like all these fun little creative things. And she even shows you how to sew a dress. So
she's ridiculously popular on Instagram, by the way. Huge following.
Yeah. And these are really cool. I'm looking at the trailer right now and seeing all the things that she makes. It's weird. It's like a Rachel Ray.
Yes.
With Muppets.
Yeah.
Weird.
But it's all like creepy.
Horror Rachel Ray with Muppets.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, I'm in.
I loved it. I adored it. It someone in the chat room, like a Muppet cooking show, kind of. Yeah.
Is it weird to watch it post Halloween, or do you think it's better if it's during Halloween?
I mean, it was fun for me before Halloween, but it's still such a great fun show that I think it's fine either way.
All right.
It's The Haunting of Toll House.
Oh my Lord, Brian! I think we've broken some kind of FCC rule just now with that joke. Our time
I will
is limited.
say this: as you're watching her do like this intricate stuff, I'm like, ain't nobody got time for that. I mean, it's
kidding. Yeah.
Nobody got time for that.
She does every like airbrushing and I mean, she's meticulous. It's really, and her fingers, I'm fascinated by her fingers because she has very long, bony fingers, and they're beautiful, and it's just
She used to be awesome. So I was doing a little reading there. She used to be a model. She is now and her start really is like, I don't know if YouTube's involved or not, but she her Instagram stuff is like where all this got started. And she would show off her creations on Instagram, and that just blew up for her. And now she gets a show on Netflix. That's awesome. You're seeing that happen a lot more these days. Which is cool.
Now Scott won't watch it because she's very pretty.
Yeah, well, she's natural. She is naturally pretty.
Yes.
Yeah, there's nothing here. This isn't WB pretty.
The other, Kate Von Dries? No, not that one.
I have no idea.
Oh, Kat. Yes, the.
The tattooist.
No, not the tattooist. Other model. She has the red lips and oh god, and she's in this.
She looks like Betty. She looks like Betty Page kind of thing, right?
Yes, yes. And if I just go,
isn't it the woman who was married to Marilyn Manson for a while, or am I thinking of somebody else?
Yes.
On the top of the dark and
stupid. Stop it.
Dita Von Teese. That's it. Dita Von Teese.
Dita Von Teese. Oh yeah, here you go.
Yeah, she's in this.
Okay. Oh, she was married to Marilyn Manson.
Mm-hmm.
She had to look at that dude with his makeup off and stuff and everything. He's a potato. He is such a potato with no makeup on. I mean, she's whatever.
Yeah.
Look, I'm no judge of handsome men, but I will just say, freaking potato is that guy.
Oh yeah, married for 2 years, 2005 to 2007.
Yeah, it's 07 that he took his makeup off and he went, ooh, potato.
That's right.
Yeah, potato. Well, that's interesting. Okay, cool. Well, I'm all in on this. This sounds like fun. I'd watch this.
A lot of fun.
All
and
right.
the puppets are funny and they're creepy, and there's like a big werewolf kind of guy, and then there's like a Egyptian mummy cat, and then I think she's a raccoon. She's kind of annoying, but yeah, she brings some. It's funny. So it's like you can't say one category for this show. That's why it's so hard to say, well, it's kind of a cooking show, it's kind of a Muppet comedy, it's kind of a lot of things.
I'm kind of into the Muppet thing. I like when Muppets are used for this stuff. Yesterday Bill showed us a maker who uses a puppet as the main as the guy who's making everything.
Right.
It's something about that is awesome. I wish there were more like live streams, like more Twitch streams that were all run by puppets. There's something about that for me that I like. All right, you said you had two, right? You got two?
Here's the other one.
Okay.
It's on Amazon Prime. So there's the clip.
All right, I'm hitting play. Here we go, folks.
Hey, what do you think is the all-time best way to sit ever?
It's easy. Cross-legged, left over right.
Okay.
See, it's comfortable. It's fun. Put your coffee right here on your knee.
Oh, but don't you think you're being a little sexist? I mean, that'd be fine if I were wearing jeans, but what if I decided to put on a pencil skirt? You'd be getting a real show right now.
I recognize the voices. I think that's what's her name? Hold on.
It's Armisen, isn't it? Isn't it Fred Armisen?
Yep, that was Fred Armisen and Maya Rudolph.
Maya Rudolph, that's who it is.
This is a show, an Amazon Prime show called Forever.
Forever. So this is not Portlandia.
No, this is not Portlandia. This is a continuous show of the same theme. I think it has around 8 or 9 episodes, and I devoured it, even though it is at times a little slow, and you're like, what is going on here? So Maya and Fred are married, and the whole premise of Forever is they die.
Mm.
So it's about the afterlife and what happens, and the stories were quirky because they're quirky.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I really, really enjoyed it. And it was a pleasant surprise, and it was funny and weird, and yeah. Another funny, weird one.
I like both those guys a lot. So it seems like something I could totally get into.
Someone in the chat room said it's kind of boring. It is at times, but I don't know. The story moved forward for me.
And Nicole, that's just Bob Peterson.
Yeah, Bob doesn't. Don't. Yeah, Bob thinks everything's boring. Yeah. I hate to say it, but also and too sad or something. He always thinks things are too sad.
Right, exactly.
But what I was just gonna say about her, Maya Rudolph. Oh, her voice work in that that very dirty Big Mouth show that's on Netflix also is so good. Yeah. She's so good as the monstrous and she's hormone lady.
And she's been really good on The Good Place lately too.
Yeah,
Maya
she's
Rudolph.
just great. I think she's awesome.
I finally got into The Good Place. Well, that's not what I mean. But
what do you think of it? Because I think it's adorable. I love that show.
So I only watched bits and parts of season 1 and 2, basically to get the gist of what was going on, and then I picked it up on season 3, and I love season 3.
No, there's so much great stuff in seasons 1 and 2 that kind of set up season 3. You gotta.
I know what they do to set it up. I did watch some of the episodes, but it just never really grabbed me. But for whatever reason, I adore season 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to.
However you get it, I'm glad that you got it.
Yeah. Get it how you can get it.
Got into The Good Place.
That's good.
We got into The Good Place.
That's awesome. It's a great show. I love that thing even exists for the kind of show it is.
NBC, The Good Place is on NBC, but you can watch it streaming on Hulu if you have Hulu.
Yeah.
And Forever is on Amazon Prime.
Oh, well, good. I have all those things. Everything you've mentioned, I have. Well, excellent. Follow Nicole on Twitter at Nicole Spag, and she will give you links to these. And where did you say all this stuff is again?
So I posted on Nicole Spag, but then I retweeted over on Recommendals. And so it's a nice condensed list of everything the three of us have ever recommended in a nice long list.
Compact place.
Easy to
singular
follow.
Place. Maybe not compact, but singular place.
Singular place. It's called The Singular Place on NBC. Nicole Spag, have a fantastic week. We'll talk to you soon. And we missed you. Goodbye.
See ya.
All right. Well, that's a good time right there.
It was.
I really enjoyed it. Now we get to leave. Boy, looking at Marilyn Manson without makeup on, I didn't know he was in a season of Sons of Anarchy. That's crazy. That's weird.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I guess probably playing a character because you couldn't really say, well, special guest star playing himself.
Yeah. No, it's totally not his makeup-y deal. It's just him without makeup and short hair even, and just looks like a normal average dude. It looks like he's in prison or something. Anyway, he's a weird guy. But hats off to him. He figured out a way to, become a thing that made him a lot of money. All right, we are done. Before we go, though, let's just remind the fine folks at home that if you enjoy the morning stream, and I think that many of you do, or you wouldn't be listening, now's your chance. Now's your chance to show your love. Head on over to patreon.com/TMS and throw a little scratch our way. We're trying to reach some new goals, do some new things, and it is on you to help us. So please help us out. Patreon.com/TMS. You can find links to that and everything else over at frogpants.com/TMS. And for those in the chat who are with us today, don't forget to vote on today's show titles, frogpants.showbot.tv. All right, Brian, who is Coverville on Twitter, and I'm at Scott Johnson, and the show's at Morning Stream. Why don't you play me a song at the end of the show here?
Well, I'll read you a request. I wasn't able to get a song today because of technical issues, so you've got the song.
I do.
But this is the request that's going to go with it. Melissa wrote in and said, hey, Soul and Blues, first off, thanks for all the amazingness that you and the show provide. Second, I'm celebrating